Welcome back. This is Stocks to Watch as we get pivotal updates on Copper Fox Metals, a Canadian resource company advancing a focused portfolio of porphyry copper projects in North America, trading on the TSXV under CUU and the OTCQX under CPFXF. This interview is disseminated on behalf of Copper Fox Metals, and we're privileged to be joined by Elmer B. Stewart, the president and CEO. First and foremost, welcome, sir.
Good to be back.
It was a pleasure to get you back on, and I want to dive into this because Copper Fox recently released results from the 5 new drill holes at the Schaft Creek, with 4 intersecting significant copper and copper gold mineralizations. For investors watching, what stands out most to you about these results, and why are they important for this project overall?
2 things stand out. One is that the drilling in 2025 intersected mineralization, pretty significant mineralization, up to 500 meters south of the modeled Schaft Creek deposit. That has an implication for size of the deposit getting larger. And the second thing is the most southerly of the drill holes intersected some pretty significant gold mineralization, which is exceptionally high for the average Schaft Creek gold concentration.
Yeah, and I mean, we're kind of living through this precious metal renaissance. So it's definitely an intriguing time to be paying attention, but several of those mineralized intervals are near surface. So for viewers who aren't mining experts, why does near surface mineralization matter so much when it comes to project economics and development potential?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Well, as far as project economics goes, it's usually measured in operating cost per ton, and that includes the mining costs. So clearly, the closer the mineralization is to surface, the less waste you have to mine to access the mineralization. So the less waste you have to mine, it drops the operating cost per ton in the early stages of the project, which actually really drives the NPV quite considerably.
Yeah, and the area you drilled was originally being considered for waste rock storage, but it now appears to host mineralization. So how does that discovery change the way you view the southern portion of Schaft Creek? And I mean, what could it mean for the project's scale and economics?
That's very interesting because as we model the Schaft Creek deposit, the actually stated resource is about 1.3 billion tons in the measured and indicated category, about 400 million tons in the inferred. The drilling to the south, and the Schaft Creek deposit is like 1,500 meters long by about 1,000 meters wide. So setting the mineralization out by an additional 500 meters further south, and we don't know how far south it goes. Clearly more drilling would have to be done to bring that into a resource, but a 500 meter step out on a 1,500 meter interval, pretty significant. What I'd like to also add is last year, one of the geotechnical drill holes at the north end of the pit intersected mineralization 250 meters north of the mineralized envelope of that part of the deposit. So in the last 2 years, the mineralization has been extended approximately collectively 750 meters. Like I said earlier, more drilling has to be done to bring that into a resource category. But, it looks overall, it's pretty significant.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind if you can expand a little bit farther. Speaking of that 500 meter, south of the existing model, from a strategic standpoint, how meaningful is that kind of expansion for a large, long life copper project like Schaft Creek?
Well, Schaft Creek is one of the largest undeveloped porphyry copper systems in North America. The PEA we did in 2021 had a throughput of 133,000 tons a day, utilizing 92% capacity. So if we were able to add this incremental increases to the resource category, it provides the joint venture optionality in either a longer mine life, which most mining companies want really long mine life, and or you could increase your daily throughput from 133,000 tons a day to some higher number.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I mean, Schaft Creek is operated by Teck Resources, which holds a 75% interest and continues to invest in advancing the project. I mean, how does Teck's ongoing involvement influence your confidence in Schaft Creek's long-term development path?
Quite a bit. As you may not know this, but we have a pretty good joint venture arrangement for a junior with a major. And majors usually have a very strategic planning process in place, and they have to see something either technically or financially that warrants additional expenditure in a project. So if Teck continues to spend money on Schaft Creek, that increases my confidence in the project moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And kicking through 2026 here, I mean, what should investors be watching for the next, basically what's going on next at Schaft Creek? And are there specific milestones over the next 12 to 24 months, let's say, that could be meaningful to unlock some value here?
I think there are 3 things that you should be looking for. One is the 2026 program and budget for Schaft Creek. The second would be clearly the decision, and that decision hasn't been made yet, to move the project into the pre-feasibility stage, and that decision, hopefully the decision on that will be made shortly. But that's essentially up to Teck. And the third thing is going to be the completion of the Teck Anglo merger, because that merger, they've talked about spending a considerable amount of money on Teck's projects in northern British Columbia, and they have two projects. Schaft Creek is one of them.
Yeah, and there seems to be this really perfect formula going on between like the use cases for copper today, supplying demand constraints that are looking, down the road, gold, precious metals. I mean, given all these recent updates and developments at Schaft Creek, what do you believe makes Copper Fox Metals a compelling investment opportunity for investors today?
I think our project portfolio, the focus is on critical metals, copper specifically. The JV arrangement we have with Teck Resources, we are fully carried through to production. We have 3 projects with current resources in them. We have a resource base of approximately 7.3 billion tons of copper equivalent. We have good exploration potential on our projects in Arizona, Mineral Mountain, and Burro Butte. We're actually drilling Mineral Mountain right now. And given the long-term demand for copper and gold going out into the future, I think we're coming into a very strong commodity cycle for at least to the end of the decade. So given the insider ownership and that we're being in the right place at the right time, I think that's a very compelling investment story.
On that, we'll pass it off to the viewers as always. We'd love to know what you think in that comment section. If you want to explore further, of course, we'll leave the links in the description, and consider subscribing for updates, catalysts as it comes down the wire like this. Of course, we'll bring it to you here. But again, on that, as always, we look forward to catching you in the next one.
Thank you.